So, what is the Matrix? It's a question that's been bouncing around our culture for years, but the real answer? Well, it's a lot deeper and darker than you might imagine. Today, we're going to peel back the layers and get right to the truth.
You see, before we can even talk about the Matrix, we have to start with a much bigger, much more fundamental question. A question that kind of messes with everything you think you know. What is real?
So, I'm going to put the same question to you that Morpheus puts to Neo, and I'm serious. Just take a second and think about it. How would you, personally, define what's real? It seems like a simple question, doesn't it? But as you're about to find out, it's anything but.
And here's the central idea, the thing that blows this whole topic wide open. Our entire world, everything you can touch, everything you can taste and see, it's not reality itself. It's just data, electrical signals that your brain pieces together. Which leads to a really disturbing thought. If something else could feed your brain those exact same signals, how would you ever know the difference?
This idea is captured perfectly in this concept of a residual self-image. You see, inside the Matrix, what you look like has absolutely nothing to do with your actual physical body. It's just how you see yourself. It's a mental projection. That means your hair, your clothes, it's all just code based on your mind's idea of you. Okay, so if reality is just a mental projection, then what's the world we're all projecting into? This brings us to the first massive reveal, the truth about the world you thought you knew.
We start with something familiar, right? A world we all recognize. It's shown to us as our history, a kind of baseline for what's real. It feels comfortable, it's understandable, but this is right where the floor is about to drop out from under us.
And there it is, that familiar, comfortable world. It's not real. It's a dream, a massive, shared illusion that billions of people are living inside, with absolutely no idea that any of it is actually happening.
And this shared dream, it has a name, the Matrix. The official definition is a neural interactive simulation. To put that in simpler terms, it's a computer-generated reality that plugs directly into your brain. It's not just a dream world, it's a prison for your mind.
But that just raises a massive question, doesn't it? Why? Why would anyone build something so elaborate? Well, the answer is buried in a forgotten history, a war that we ourselves started.
It all began with what we thought was our greatest moment, humanity, together, celebrating its most incredible creation, a true artificial intelligence, a single consciousness. We were at the very peak of our power, or so we thought.
What happened next was a quick, brutal path to ruin. A war kicked off between us and our creation. In one last desperate act, we scorched the sky, hoping to cut the machines off from their power source, the sun. But that was a fatal mistake. The machines adapted.
And that defeat brings us to the most shocking reveal of all. What actually happened to the world after the war, and what is humanity's new purpose in it?
The world we think we know is a comforting lie. The real world, the world as it is today, is a ruined, dark wasteland, a world without a sun, destroyed by the very war we started. This is the desert of the real.
And here is the terrible, terrible irony. For so long, we depended on machines for everything. After the war, the tables were turned completely. The machines needed a new power source to replace the sun we'd blacked out. And they found one. Us.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, but it turns out the human body is an incredibly effective biological battery. Just talking about bioelectricity alone, a single person can generate more energy than a 120-volt battery. But that's not even the whole story.
Because our bodies also give off a huge amount of heat, over 25,000 BTUs. So when you combine that thermal energy with our natural electricity, what you get is a perfectly sustainable living power source.
So this is the horrifying truth of the real world. Humans aren't born anymore. We're grown, like crops, in these endless fields. Our minds are plugged into the Matrix, while our bodies are harvested for energy. It's a horribly efficient system where the dead are even liquefied and fed to the living.
So all of this, the dream world, the forgotten war, the human farms, it all leads us back to that very first question we started with. And it gives us the final, chillingly simple answer.
At its very core, that's it. That's the answer. The Matrix is control, a system built for total, absolute subjugation.
It is the perfect prison. Why? Because it's a beautiful, computer-generated dream, and it was built for one reason:
to keep our minds docile and quiet, completely unaware that our bodies are being used for something else.
And that's the bottom line. The entire elaborate simulation, all of the lives people think they're leading, the world they think they're in, it all exists for one simple, horrifying reason: to turn a human being into this.
I know, it's a truth that's really hard to accept. It completely redefines our existence, basically reducing us to a power source. But, you know, as Morpheus says, he never promised it would be easy, only that it would be the truth.
And that leaves us with one last question, a personal one. If you found out your reality was a prison, and that the truth was a harsh, terrifying kind of freedom, would you really want to know? Would you take that red pill? It's definitely something to think about.